So the other day, the world may have witnessed one of the rarest things it has ever seen. Something that I can only describe as an Elon Musk W. You know Elon Musk, tech mogul, giga millionaire, the man who bought Twitter and then very shortly after was like, oh wait, no, that's just a prank, bro. I don't actually want to buy it, and then tried to get the sale canceled. When that didn't work, he decided to lay off over 80% of his staff and possibly do the worst rebrand I've ever seen, changing Twitter to X. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Elon Musk. He, to me, seems like one of those guys who is obviously very smart and very talented and hardworking and successful, but seemed to believe that because he is successful, because he is smart and has an expertise in one specific area, that all of this makes him an expert in like all things science, culture, politics. Basically, he thinks he's an expert in everything when he is very much not. It's safe to say that Elon's reign over Twitter so far has been a rocky one. The platform has become even more toxic somehow as misinformation and disinfo continues to permeate this cesspool that tries to call itself a social media platform. However, the other day though, Lord Elon, in his all-knowing knowledge and wisdom, issued a decree from on high,
making a slight change to creator monetization. Any posts that are corrected by a community notes become ineligible for revenue share. The idea is to maximize the incentive for accuracy over sensationalism.
Holy W, Batman. So for some context, Community Notes was added to Twitter in 2021 by then former CEO Jack Dorsey in an attempt to clamp down on misinformation that was spreading across Twitter. I'm sure that you've probably seen these community notes pinned to a viral tweet. They usually try to provide more context on this certain topic or discussion in question in said tweet. Well, back in July of this year, 2023, Twitter decided to announce a new monetization program where users could start receiving ad revenue payment, dollars, moolah, based off the engagement from their tweets and the ad revenue associated with it. Oh joy, people are now being paid to create toxic behavior, toxic cesspool, and to spread misinformation. Well, not quite. Going back to Elon's tweet from October 29th, any posts that are corrected by community notes become ineligible for revenue sharing. According to him, the idea is to maximize incentives for accuracy over sensationalism.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Let's go. Elon did it. Twitter is saved and misinfo has been defeated. Don't get me wrong. I think that this is a very solid first step. And I think like in general, community notes like on Twitter does a good job of adding more context to situations in posts. I mean, pretty recently there was a hilarious use of these community notes popping off up in the YouTube drama of YouTuber SSSniperwolf versus JacksFilms, a real brief summary cliff notes of this drama. The internet over the last year or two has been absolutely roasting YouTuber SSSniperwolf over her lazy react content. Most of her videos, she just sits in front of a camera and vaguely reacts to a series of TikToks that are put on her screen.
Wait, that's not a loofah yet. You gotta tie the inside. Whoa, she going crisscross applesauce. I think somehow, I don't know what she's doing, but it turned into a loofah.
This has pissed a lot of creators off, and rightly so, because essentially she is putting like zero effort in to this content that prints her millions and millions of dollars. Oh, and by the way, YouTube as a company seems to hold her up as the gold standard of what a content creator should be. I mean, the official YouTube Twitter account seemingly never stops posting about how awesome SSSniperwolf is. Because of all of this, one YouTuber, JacksFilms, has seemingly made it his life goal, his life mission to get SSSniperwolf to change her ways or to get her demonetized and removed off YouTube. As this man has now dedicated his content to coming up with a variety of hilarious ways to show just how absurd everything that SSSniperwolf is doing. Long story very short, SSSniperwolf is not happy by this and decided one night, I guess, to show up to JacksFilms homes, which she then posted on her Instagram to over 5 million of her followers. The internet was not pleased.
Last night, SSniperwolf, a massive YouTuber, showed up outside of our home, recorded a video of our home, and then posted it to her 5.6 million Instagram followers, goading me with the line, "Let's talk like adults."
This is basically doxing, by the way. Legally, I don't think it meets the definition of doxing, but at the very least, we can kind of all agree like why this is morally wrong. After several weeks of outrage and pressure, YouTube was finally forced to make a statement on this situation, and it was, well, rather subpar. Somehow through this entire situation, YouTube decided that it would be a good idea to pull the classic both sides card. Affirming SSSniperwolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. Hoping everyone moves this combo to a better place. Bam! Slapped by the community notes. Take that, YouTube. In general, to me, it seems like community notes on Twitter are a good thing. Context is like always important, and on a social media platform that's geared like Twitter, where you are just straight up limited by how many characters that you're allowed to post, you're straight up limited on what exactly you can say. Context is like always going to be lacking, especially in the world we live in right now with so much conflict going on. It's super easy for people to be led by misinformation, fake news, and just watch something that they wholeheartedly believe is real when it is very much not.
I don't know if this is legit or not. Rip. Oof, they lit that thing up. Look at the traces.
Much love, XQCL.
This one is literally Arma 3. It's fake. It's Arma. Oh, god damn it! I hate it!
Old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
To me, this change in the monetization policy seems like a good one. I can see the logic on how and why they would think that this would potentially limit the amount of disinfo spread on the platform, but not everyone is happy about this. A lot of users bring up some good points in contradiction to this new change in the monetization policy. Basically, that just because a post gets flagged with community notes necessarily doesn't mean that it is misinformation or that the post itself is misleading. Yes, this is true. This is true. This is not technically wrong. As well, others bring up the fact that those who are able to make community notes are just normal users like you or I. So potentially this means that the system could be abused. I actually didn't know this, shows how much I use Twitter, but anyone can potentially become a community notes contributor literally just by signing up. Assuming that your application is accepted, you are now a community note contributor, which basically allows you to add a community note on any post that you believe is potentially misleading. And according to Twitter, if enough contributors from different points of view rate that this note that hypothetically, let's say I put on a post was helpful, the note will then be shown publicly, which will now demonetize the post. You catch all that? So in the broad terms, it seems like there is some kind of a checks and balances system within the community notes system, which would potentially prevent people from like weaponizing the community notes to demonetize people that they don't like. While in general, I do think that this change is a good one, I definitely can see the potential for this system and the changes in the community notes system to go very, very wrong. In general, though, I think that Twitter's like misinformation problem is undeniable. And while this may not completely stop the spread of that information, at the very least, it will potentially prevent like scumbags from making money off promoting these fake, just absolutely wrong narratives, which at the very least seems like a good thing to me. Of course, this is bound to affect like your average everyday poster as well, who are now have to be a little bit paranoid about potentially losing, I guess, ad revenue to community nodes.
Oh, I won't be able to
make my money on my Twitter now. Like, these people don't even know what real pain is. I mean, imagine, like, for one moment, if you can, spending 20, 30, maybe 40 even hours on making a YouTube video only to post it and then subsequently have it demonetized for the most asinine reasons. Now that, my friends, is real pain. I'm really curious, like, how much Twitter monetization even pays. I really doubt that, like, most people, even with a substantial Twitter following, usually care that much about their Twitter revenue, as generally these people have, like, other platforms which make them more ad revenue. Like, how many full-time professional tweeters are there out there? Really? Like, do they just sit in a room somewhere all day and try to like hit their quota? Like, they have to come up with like 100 tweets per day in order to hit their ad revenue quota? Like, how does this work? Overall, in my opinion, this seems like a super rare big Elon W. I really barely even use Twitter anymore, as I truly believe that it is like an overall hindrance to my mental health and the mental health of millions. Generally, I check it like once a day to see like what insanity is unfolding within the world, and then I immediately unplug. So from my perspective, any step that Twitter X makes to crack down on their rampant misinformation problem seems like a good one to me. As always though, this is just my thoughts and my opinion, and I think that really only time will tell on just how effective this monetization change is. Let me know what you think of all this Twitter madness in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much as always for watching my videos. Please click one of the videos on screen now for more content, and as always guys, I hope to see you in the next one. Drink your water, hug your mother. Until next time, peace of auto.
Yeah, some of the best albums of all time. If I was you, would download Bill for Cuban links.